Hello, friend, and thanks for joining me. I'm Reverend Ann. I'm the Senior Minister of Unity of Austin, and I want to share some thoughts with you about, and now we rest, taking a Sabbath. And here's a quotation from Genesis chapter 2, verses 2 through 3, and it's about the creation story. And on the seventh day, God finished the work that he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all the work that he'd done. So God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because on it, God rested from all the work that he had done in creation. I love that. They're going on and on about all the work that God had done. It's true. That's a lot of work to create this earth and all of the universe, and rest is a part of it. Here's another quotation. This is from the author Shelly Miller from her book, Rhythms of Rest, Finding the Spirit of Sabbath in a Busy World. And she writes, when we trust God by taking our hands off our work, what we give up through Sabbath ultimately benefits those around us. We, as the Unity of Austin community, completed our 90 days of affirmative prayer last week. We generated powerful Christ consciousness as we gathered in silent soul communion, affirming each in our own way this prayer statement. Through the power of the Christ within, I live my soul purpose and create new good in my life, my community, and the world. It was plainly a soul-stirring experience. Much shook loose in my own life, and I understand in the lives of many of you. Our church community itself stirred, feeling new growth coming up from within our inner lives. What do we do now? The creation story in Genesis gives us guidance. What did God do after the major activity of creating earth and everything on it, as well as the moon, stars, sun, and frankly, the whole universe? God rested. What a slouch, we might think. Not so. Stepping back after mental, spiritual, and physical effort, it's necessary. It's a lot like baking bread. First, you must make the effort to knead the dough. Then you have to literally let the dough rest in order for the bread to rise. If you continue to knead the bread, the dough will be tough and make tough, chewy bread. And who wants to eat that? The idea of taking a Sabbath following a great spiritual effort comes from this spiritual metaphysical story of God's respite on the seventh day of creation. Sabbath is a spiritual concept. It's a part of the spiritual creation process, and it's part of how we create when we are doing spiritual work to bring good into manifestation. When we've done the active work of creating new good in our thoughts, our emotions, and our actions, we then step back to make room for spirit to bring forth the results. Sabbath is the consciousness that we have fulfilled the divine law in both thought and act. In Unity's Revealing Word Dictionary, we find the true Sabbath is that state of spiritual attainment where man ceases from all personal effort and all belief in his own works and rests in the consciousness that, quote, the Father abiding in me doeth his works, end quote. And that's Jesus talking. It's from the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 10. Unity's co-founder, Charles Fillmore, wrote in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, the Sabbath is a very certain, definite thing. It is a state of mind that man enters or acquires when he goes into the silence of his own soul, into the realm of spirit. There he finds true rest and peace. The seventh day means the seventh or perfect stage of one's spiritual unfoldment. So what do we do now after these 90 days of affirmative prayer? We take a Sabbath. We rest in our souls and make room for our realization that indeed it is the power of God within us that brings forth results. And they will be magnificent beyond what we have yet conceived. God bless you in the love and the light of the living Christ.